welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. I'm Sherelle Roberts, and we have a very special guest segment. We have two guests. They are Marisa Aull and State Representative Chad Aull. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here.
We are so glad to have you here. Marisa is the Director of Nutrition Education Program at UK, and Chad is the Kentucky State Representative for the 79th District, which is in Lexington. So I know that you all are big fans of Let's Talk Kentucky, so I know it's a big deal for you to be here, especially for you, Representative Aull.
Yes, let's do it.
Actually, I have to say, Sherelle is a legit influencer because I didn't have a Costco membership until you all bought some kind of lemon cake. and I literally ran out and I told Chad, I was like, we need to get a Costco membership. But then I went and they didn't have any of the lemon cakes.
Oh, no.
So just wait. However, I have found a new love for Costco. I'm using my membership, but you all are legit influencers.
Well, thank you. Costco, if you're listening, yes, you can.
We want a cut. Yes. Or a free lemon cake.
Well, I really wanted you guys on the show because our American political discourse, just to put it plainly, is super weird. We often view politicians not so much as people, and so I wanted to have you all on the show to remind folks that elected officials are people with families and stories and love stories. So I wanted to have you here. Marisa, we'll start off with you. Politics has been a part of your family's life pretty much since the start. Did you know that this was going to be the case when Chad first got the courage to talk to you?
Well, I just have to say, Chad didn't have to get up the courage. Chad has too much courage. So, the day that he asked for my phone number, I found out later I was one of 3 people that he asked for their phone number that day. He just says I happened to be the only one he called. So he didn't.
That's true.
But I didn't really, politics has always been a part of my family's life. My dad's family has always been involved in either elected positions or a part of the process. I don't call myself political. I think I'm more opinionated, and so that sort of leads where my heart goes in regards to politics. But I do remember I had a Barbie's in the news right now. I had a Barbie when I was younger. She had a pink and white suit and a briefcase, and I cut her hair short and called her my Governor Martha Lane Collins Barbie because my dad. I just remember my dad sort of emphasizing to me the importance of having a woman in that role and how amazing it was that our state had that. So, there's like memories from when I was younger. I don't think I necessarily went into finding a spouse thinking I really hope somebody's in politics, but that's sort of, he's persistent, and 18 years later, here we are.
Oh my goodness.
That's such a great story. So Chad, this next question is for you. How do you balance being a state representative and a husband and a father?
And
Chad.
And a day job. I will tell you, it is challenging. There's only so many hours in the week for all of us. We're all busy people, and especially during session, those weeks when we're there can be 60, 70 hours a week when we're trying to read legislation, trying to be responsive to our constituents and the people in our district, and at the same time, trying to get home, to be a dad and be present. And I had one of my fellow state reps turn to me on the House floor one day and said, "Hey, how come I don't ever see you at these legislative receptions? I like going and getting all the free food and all the other stuff." And I said, "Well, Rep, I live 45 minutes away. And so if I can get out of here at 7 o'clock, I can be home in time for bed, bath, and books. And that's a whole lot important to me than hanging out at the receptions for another hour in Frankfurt." So you pick and choose what you have to do in that role, and then choose your family when you need to be home, to be present in the life. But it is a demanding process, especially during the session.
Yeah. I will say, though, we're very lucky. My mom lives with us, and so we have additional support. But when he decided to run, we have a lot of family meetings. We're a family of extroverts, and so y'all pray for us because everyone likes to have a talk at family meeting. But we decided that if you know, he was going to run, that my job was to ensure that the kids' lives were not disrupted. So that's my goal during all of this. It was during the campaign. It's during session. That's my goal, my focus, so that he can focus on what he needs to do. And that's just really important to us because our kids don't necessarily ask for this, and so we don't want them to ever have to hear, well, no, you can't participate in that, or we can't take you there because of this. We don't want them to see Dad's job as a state rep to really, you know, in any way disrupt their lives.
And guys, we have about 1 minute left. Kim's gonna ask you one more question.
So politics can be pretty mean. How does the meanness and the rhetoric affect your home life?
Well, I will say it affects, Marissa takes that a little bit more, you know, personally than I do, because I'm kind of used to it. I have a very thick skin. I've been in this arena for quite a while. I try to let it roll off my back and move on, because you have to work with people in a bipartisan manner across the aisle, and you may really feverishly disagree on one particular issue, but the very next day, another issue, you can find some compromise. So I try to move on and get past it and do what we can to get some stuff done.
I have a list. I keep a list. I do.
That's
If you say
true.
something nasty about my husband, my kids, on Twitter, Facebook, it's anywhere, I have a list.
So if you're watching, she literally does, and I've seen it, and
Petty
it makes me
Patty,
honest.
I'm okay with it. I have a list. I'm okay, you know, giving him criticism, but if anybody else gives him criticism, we're done.
Yep.
So I hold grudges.
True.
We need to
All
have
right,
her
y'all,
out here on the set. So we will not ask who's on the list, but stay with us. Stay with us. Coming up after the break, we'll ask them some more questions.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.